What is going on, all my movie-loving badasses out there? It's your boy Preston, PhatSamuraiGuy, back again with another episode, hanging out with me. That's right, I got two legends here, hanging out with me in the movie dojo. I will let the legends introduce themselves. Go for it, brothers.
I'm Cheslik, the director of hundreds of Beavers. Sorry to interrupt you, Preston. Thank you for having us.
Yes, and I am Ryland Brickson, Tews, and I am the Fallen Star, co-writer and producer of hundreds of Beavers.
Yes. And man, this movie really knocked me out. It kind of came out of nowhere for me because I came across the trailer and I was like, what is this? What is this glorious insanity I'm seeing in this trailer right now? Like, oh my goodness. And I was like, I have to see this. I have to watch this. And you know how the younglings say today, they'll show a clip from a movie or something, and what they say nowadays is, this is cinema. Well, I guarantee you, all of you that are watching this episode right now and listening to this on Spotify, as soon as you get done watching this movie, you're going to say the same damn thing. This is cinema. It was so bizarre looking and weird, the trailer, that I was like, I'm not doing this by myself. So I actually brought in my wife. I was like, sit down, we're going to watch this together, because she's like me. We like the same type of movies, right? And by the time we got done watching it, we were quiet. As soon as it finished, and we both stopped and looked at each other, and we were like, this has to be our favorite movie of the year so far.
Whoa.
Like, this has to be, like, so far, this is our favorite film of the year. I mean, just well done, brothers. How did you
Yeah, man.
Yeah, how did you come up with the concept for this?
I hope I watched like 9 more of your interviews where you say exactly that to like 9 other filmmakers.
Oh, not everyone gets this kind of treatment. That's right. But yeah, I don't say that all the time in terms of this is my favorite film of the year. I mean it for hundreds of beavers, though, man. So tell us about, how did you come up with the script and the story, and how did this come about, man?
Well, it was 2019. It was right after the premiere of Lake Michigan Monster at the Milwaukee Film Fest. We were at the Landmark Lanes bar in Milwaukee, talking about what our next project should be. And it's hazy at this point. It's been 5 years, but basically we felt that there wasn't enough snow-based slapstick, and someone needed to step forward and revive the dying American genre of snow-based slapstick that so far had only had one entry, the Donald Duck short where they have a snowball fight. It's time for the second and final entry in the snow-based slapstick subgenre.
Yes.
And we've hopefully completed the subgenre.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Again, the musical numbers were a lot of fun. Definitely had that Cannibal the Musical vibe. We got to get that in there. But we love slapstick type of comedy. And this movie right here is slapstick comedy done right. It's not easy to do. If somebody just trips and falls on their head, you may not get a laugh. But the way you guys do it in the film, it's hilarious. And I stayed away from reviews. I wanted to go in and experience it for myself. I didn't want anything to get spoiled or ruined. But after we loved the hell out of the movie, later on I started watching other people's reviews, and the Film Threat loved it, Screen Anarchy, and you even have a YMS. That guy's got millions of followers, millions of subscribers, and he was recommending your movie to everyone in his videos. So, man, it's not just me. It's not just Samurai Guy, that really enjoyed the film, man. Yeah.
That's so nice. Yeah, Adam from YMS, like we had a screening at Fantasia in Montreal, and we were doing some bit because we do a little comedy and wrestling during some of the shows, and we did a bit afterwards where my buddy Tyler was like walking through the audience during the Q&A, shouting over us, selling merch like a hot dog guy at a ball game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Adam was the first person to like stand up and do the like ball game bit and buy merch as if it was a hot dog. And
Amazing.
we didn't know it was him until later. We were like, that
Yeah.
guy that got the hot dog bit was funny. And then we found, oh, that's the guy that hates everything. And he thought yours was fine.
Oh man, but yeah, positive feedback all around, and there's something very original about the film too. It's kind of like why it's one of our favorite films of the year, because it's just like there's hope. There's hope for the movies. There's hope for cinema. We can have something original, fun, crazy out there. And again, obviously, I want people that are watching this interview, I want you guys to go see this film. But so I can't talk spoilers, unfortunately. But you will not be disappointed. And what I really loved about the film, though, is that yeah, it has the slapstick comedy. A lot of stuff was busting us up, but the visual aesthetic, man, very Monty Python vibe too. My wife's a big, huge Monty Python fan. It was almost like you were watching a live action cartoon on screen. Was
Yeah,
that the goal, Ryland?
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally the goal. Our DP Quinn Hester is a soldier of cinema, and he survived the 12-week winter shoot without complaining even once. And yeah, it's brought all these high contrast black and white images from my little storyboards into reality.
Yeah, and it was kind of like we wanted to just meld together all this actual shooting we did in northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan in the woods, and meld that together with green screen elements to make this very cohesive look to the movie. And it's just one of those things where if you can get the audience to buy into this like lo-fi look early on, then you can create very large worlds, and you can get away with doing, 1,500 effect shots in, again, a lo-fi style. And I think people find that endearing, that it looks the way it does.
Yeah.
It's one of these movies that it looks very different than anything else coming out. And I think that was sort of one of the ideas of that's going to sort of set us apart from what everyone else is doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so and I think, like you said, so right when you see the trailer, you're just like, wow, this is like nothing else happening right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, well said, perfect. And we were discussing afterwards, we were just like, man, because some of the action set pieces that you have in this film, we were kind of like, I mean, did you guys storyboard every set piece? I mean, how long did it take? I mean, this must have been insane.
Oh yeah, the whole
together.
thing's boarded. We just shot the boards, stuck to the boards. Regarding action set pieces, I think day one of film school, everyone's sitting down, professor comes in, he should say, you owe your audience a chase scene set piece. If you're not making a gag-driven chase scene set piece in your film,
yeah,
leave my classroom.
Yes, get out.
That's day one.
Right.
And then day two is day two, you just watch The Burbs, and it's kind of a fuck off day.
I love Burbs. It's one of my favorites.
Love the bird.
This is Walter. Ah, love it. Love it. We can quote movies all day. I know we're here to talk about 100 Beavers, but I mean, let's just have a little bit of fun here. What's some of you guys' favorite comedies or movies in general, any genre? What's some
Like
of
the
your
first
favorites?
half of the Burbs, like the middle of the Burbs, like the end of the Burbs.
No Burbs remake.
That's right.
Don't
I
do
like
it.
Miracles with Jackie Chan. I like Sherlock Jr. with Buster Keaton.
Let's go. Yeah. All
Hot Rod.
right.
I like when he
Yeah.
falls down the hill in Hot Rod. I
Yeah.
like when they say cool beans in Hot Rod.
Hot
So,
Rod. Yes.
what are
Yes.
your favorite? We
What
love Monty
what
Python and the Holy Grail.
yeah. What about
Oh yeah,
you,
Holy
Ryland?
Grail's definitely in our top, both of our top tens. Huge inspiration. And then, we took a lot of stuff, especially for our first movie, Lake Michigan Monster. We did, Guy Madden was a big inspiration for us. We like again this lo-fi aesthetic too that, like I said, lets you make a bigger world than it already is. And some of the early, I mean, again, everyone likes silent film. Everyone likes Buster Keaton. Everyone likes Harold Lloyd and Charlie Chaplin. And for some reason, people got it in their minds like, oh well, of course you can't make a movie like that anymore. And it's like, well, why not? Everyone likes those movies, you know. So what if
Yeah.
it 100 years ago? let's just do it again. And
Yeah.
so we found that yeah, people are hungry for this physical comedy, no dialogue. Uh,
Yes.
been able to play around the world, and yeah, people have been really latching
Oh,
onto it.
you know what else is so funny, Preston? Let's get off of Hundreds of Beavers for a second.
Let's do it.
I as I've matured in my older as I've matured, I've really grown up and realized that the Roger Moore Bond movies are the best. And I think every one of those is like the funniest, best movie. And I think we're just trying to bring the Roger Moore action set piece philosophy to silent film. And hopefully we've done a fraction of what we set
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I love Roger Moore, man. He winked at the audience and it was
They need
fun.
to they need to bring back a really old Bond that's like a lot more like remarkable. Like, it used to be a lot sillier, the whole Bond thing. And
Yeah.
I just think if we don't stop me. I'm gonna not talk about beavers. I'm gonna do 5 minutes on this.
No, we're having fun, man.
What's your
No, keep
favorite of the
going.
Roger Moore Bonds?
What is it?
What's your favorite of the Roger Moore Bonds?
He is a little bit more comedic, which I like about him because he's different from the others. You don't want the same thing over and over again, right? And I would say, but still, even though he's a little bit of winks at the camera and chews the scenery, there's legit great Bond movies underneath Roger Moore. You have For Your Eyes Only, that's
Mhm.
great. The Spy Who Loved Me is legit. That's what brought in Jaws. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, man, he's got legit great Bond movies.
I
So
love the all the action set pieces in all of those. I think they're all incredible.
And actually, no, Moonraker is a triumph of cinema. I cannot wrap my head around how they did those space battles.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I don't know why it's like it's such a cheesy movie, but I just can't stop smiling watching it.
Yeah.
Beavers has Goldfinger, and Beavers has You Only Live Twice in it. Uh,
Musical scores.
the volcano layer.
Oh, okay, okay. But there's some of the music I enjoyed in Beavers as well. Did you actually have a composer, or did you pick certain tracks to match certain scenes?
It's a lot from the DeWolf Music Library. They've been around forever. Like Monty Python and the Holy Grail is all scored from DeWolf library tracks. So are a lot of Shaw Brothers movies.
Yes,
So
you just
we
said Shaw
love that
Brothers.
library. Yeah,
We're
love.
we're brothers now because you said Shaw Brothers. That's it.
Are you a Golden Harvest guy or a Shaw Brothers guy?
Man, you got to put me on the spot. Put Samurai Guy on the spot. I'm getting interviewed now. Man, I love them both equally, but when I think of Shaw Brothers, I think of period piece, pure kung fu type of movies. A Diagram Pole Fighter, 36 Chamber of Shaolin. When I think of Golden Harvest, I think of more modern day martial arts like
Yeah.
Wheels on Meals, Eastern Condors, and stuff like that. But I love both. If you say you got to put me on a desert island and I have to choose,
Well, you explain the difference succinctly.
yeah,
I think. Oh, and for music, we also did have an original composer, Chris Ryan, who's super
okay,
talented. And he did all the cabin scenes, and I don't know, he did like 9 scenes. Anytime there was like a lot, the character themes And anytime we had a lot of little emotional changes in a short amount of time, that was Chris Ryan doing great original work. He's brilliant. And then the sound designer that's dealing with all these music tracks is Bob Berardo, who's like the shining star from my year at NYU. And he'll win an Oscar one day for sound design. But he did 9 months on the sound design of Beavers, using a lot of original sounds and then the DeWolf and Chris Ryan stuff. And
Yeah.
there's a song at the opening written by Ryland's dad, a not famous musician from Milwaukee.
No way. That's awesome. But
clear that Wayne Tews is not famous.
shout out to Ryland's dad. Yeah, shout out to Ryland's dad. But yeah, back to Beavers. I see. I can already tell. I can talk movies with these gents all day. But it's what this channel's all about. But back to Beavers. What I really enjoyed also about the film is that it's very simplistic at times, which brings the fun. But then again, you get the action set pieces later, and we were just like, how did it look kind of complicated? We were like, how did they storyboard this? How long did they put this together? It's so imaginative. But another thing that I liked about this movie, I don't know if any other interviewers asked you guys this recently, but what I like about the film is that, yes, it's got the slapstick comedy. Yes, it's got the goofy awesomeness, but it doesn't treat its audience like they're idiots. And there's things, not to spoil anything, there's things that me and my wife are like, I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing there. You set up certain things earlier in terms of storytelling and character arc development, and then it comes right back to it later in the movie. And I was like, that's awesome. That's nice. You know, especially when you have a lot of scenes where there's no dialogue. You're not treating the audience like you're dumb. We got an exposition every 5 seconds because you're stupid, audience. You're stupid. Bright colors, jingle the keys. But I don't have any keys. But special effects, jingle keys because you're dumb. But I like that about the movie. I was like, dude, this movie, there's so much to this film. It was so unexpected, man.
Thanks. It's getting those runners. Yeah, just focusing on those running jokes is a big part of the writing process of stuff that comes back later. And yeah, I guess if you went to the bathroom, you might miss one of the beats of one of the running jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always sort of the thought process is we wanted to just show the actual in real time, like the zero to hero journey. You know, not only does that plug into like modern day like video games like RPGs and stuff, but it also plugs into the fact that that's how actual trap lines work for fur trappers. Is you have, you know, a series of stops and you set all your traps, and then you have to come back the next day and do the whole trap line, and you have to see, oh, did my trap work? Ah, it didn't quite work. I have to make an adjustment, and you have to do that over and over and over again until you start trapping, you know, beavers essentially.
Right.
But because my character's not good at his job, he has to do it in this roundabout, funny Rube Goldbergian way.
Yeah.
You know, which that's where the comedy lies. But yeah, we didn't want to do like a quick Rocky IV montage. We wanted to actually show the entire process.
Yeah.
So maybe to spell it out to the audience more, we could have done flashbacks to the previous beat of every runner every time a joke happened. I guess we trusted the audience in that way of not doing it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was really impressed with it. But since you brought up Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest, and you said Jackie Chan's Miracles, hey, this channel right here, I've interviewed many martial artists, stuntmen, you know, filmmakers, directors, Isaac Florentine, Jesse V. Johnson, Marco Zaror, you know, these Jude Poyer, Art Camacho, so many legends. I was very honored to have them on my show. And this channel is all about supporting these guys and these stuntmen. And again, you got the slapstick comedy, you got the fun storytelling, the character arc, the fun music, the chase sequence, which was great. And then, not to spoil too much, towards the end, you guys threw down, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait a minute, this is an actual fight. We got an actual fight with stunts. You getting thrown up against the wall, things smashed over your head. And I was like, this is legit stunts and stunt work. I was so impressed, man. How hard was that to put that scene? You know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Towards the
I
end.
gotta plug you would love our fight choreographer. I'm so sorry he's not with us. You gotta get
Oh,
him on, maybe. John Trey is brilliant.
okay.
Did that
Okay.
fight. And the whole next movie we're gonna do is gonna just be like 6 John Trey fights.
Yes.
We had so much fun doing that Beavers fight. That was the highest high on the whole movie, was doing the fight and pulling the footage from the fight into the NLE during lunch and after the workday.
Yeah.
And we had a ball. And that was like all our buddies, everybody playing the Beavers during the fight. And John Trey did a great job. And I don't know, that was one of the highest highs of my whole like filmmaking career.
Yeah, and he's just like a steel trap for anything having to do with Golden Harvest, Shaw Brothers. I mean, he's seen everything. And so he's just a really energetic guy who's just all about fight choreography. And so he was the man for the job to do this like barroom brawl essentially. And it goes beyond just his ability to fight choreograph, but he knows like where to put the camera, and how to edit together, because it's a little bit different when you're editing a fight scene, specifically like a kung fu fight scene, like where to
Right.
cut and everything, so you get like the highest impacts and all this, and
Yeah.
ramping the footage so it's a little bit faster, a little bit more energetic, like all this little minutia he knows about kung fu fights. So when we got together with our buddies to do this fight scene, I mean, we were dying laughing when Mike was doing the edit. It was a lot of fun.
John's been prolific on internet fight forums for the last 20 years and knows a lot of people that work in that arena. And this is
Nice.
this fight that he did for the Beaver movie, we were like so happy with and had so much fun that now we just. Oh, and John's also the live Beaver performer. When we do the road show and we go and do some wrestling live at these screenings, it's always John in the Beaver costume.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Well, shout out to John. We're gonna call him Big John now.
That's
Shout
right.
out to John. Well, now you got me.
You gotta get John Trey on your show. He's
Hey,
the man.
well, you already said there's like 5 fight scenes in your next project. So when your next project comes out, please come back to the dojo and bring John with you. Let's go.
Perfect.
And on my show, you can talk as long as you want. You talk
And
as long
John
as you
will
want.
talk as long as you let him.
John will go for
And
8
curse.
on your show.
You can curse. Have fun. That's what it's all about. Be yourselves. Drink a beer. Yeah, the smile that I already had following our protagonist on his adventure, and then you get to that fight scene. I was like Joker smile at this point. I was like Joaquin Phoenix, like I was doing the whole thing.
Yeah, that fight too is like it's not kung fu. It's not a bunch of moves. It's just based on big impacts, which is very American, like the saloon bar brawl.
Yeah.
Giant funny impacts with like breakaway stuff.
Yes.
And that there's like some great bar fights in westerns and like.
Oh yeah.
So he loves his Hong Kong, but he did this very like American style bar brawl.
Roadhouse.
Big
Roadhouse.
Giant funny impacts with
Yeah.
giant sound effects.
Yeah, we just needed Ryland to rip a throat out or something. A beaver throat.
So wild. That's
in the
so
sequel. We'll do that in the sequel.
It starts like a normal movie, and then you get a throat rip scene.
It's fun. But thanks again for not just giving us that fight, but filming the fight. That's one of my big pet peeves here on the channel. Filming the fight, you can actually see the action. What? You can see the fight choreography. You can see the stunt work, because I hate it when there's too much quick cut editing, when there's too much shaky cam, and you can't see what they're doing. You're wasting the stuntmen's talents.
Well, they're hiding that. Well, sometimes they're hiding their shitty stuntman. No, I don't know. It's harder in the wide, but we're in a privileged situation where if the Beaver choreography is bad, it's a little funny. So to be in the wide for us, there aren't any bad. There's no severe consequence for a clumsy action from the Beaver, because that's also funny. But if you're trying to do a fight that's precise and cool and you're in the wide, it has to like be good. But with hundreds of Beavers, we get a little leeway where you're in the wide and it's a Beaver fighting a guy. So if it's not perfectly precise, it's still just funny. Am I wrong?
No, totally. No, anytime the Beavers are clumsy, that's inherently funny. So
right. Yeah. You know what the fight reminded me of? It reminded me of They Live. the fight with Roddy Piper and Keith David. In terms of you have that comedic part in that fight, and it's brutal and fun, but then it kept going. Like soon as you thought, okay, the fight's gonna end now, and then it kept going, which made it more funny.
5 minutes of the runtime of your movie. It's just this.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, great stuff.
What are your favorite fights?
Oh, let's see. I would have to say Jackie Chan versus Benny the Jet Urquidez from Wheels on Meals. Let's see. Oh, there's so many.
He's
I like the end fight sequence in the Raid. You have the 2-on-1.
Yeah,
I'm not 2-on-1 is classic kung fu movie. It's okay. You know, sometimes people are like, oh man, they gotta gang up on the villain is badass. Okay, the villain takes everybody out, so it's okay. The hero's got to team up. But what about you? What about you?
I like gag driven stuff more, you know, like I like a strung together like series of gags. So it's less about athleticism. Like the end of Police Story 2, you know, it's not actually about martial arts at that point. It's just these giant gags and stunts one after another that are very clever and based on these big like rigs and the set pieces and stuff. I just like that. I just like big goofy set pieces, or like the rope fight and Miracles and like stuff like that.
And like to go off that too, it's like we kind of want to implement this idea with Jackie Chan, where it's like it's not just he's doing all this great fighting, but he's getting hurt himself a lot.
Yeah.
And he's in his element a lot.
Right.
And you see that on his face constantly. Like, yeah, even if he's winning the fight by the end, he takes a beating. Like, it's not easy. And I think a lot of times with action scenes is like the movie almost comes to a halt. Okay, now I have to do the action scene. Okay, now back to the movie. But like the action in the action scene should be tied into the story narratively, and you should still feel for your character, and he should still be an underdog, which Jack always is. And it's the same thing with like the silent guys like Chaplin, Buster Keaton. They're always the underdog. You know, you're always rooting for. So.
Yeah. You know, Police Story 2 is a classic. Project A.
Absolutely.
The stunt work in Project A is just like, this is insane.
We're ditching John Trey's Project A screening today to be here for this interview.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
We've only seen it 8 times.
Well, that was another. I mean, that was another inspiration because they literally do a bar brawl in Project A, which is fantastic.
Yeah. Him and you going at it.
I don't know. John also just likes to have hot takes, and he was ragging on the bar fight from Project A last night, and I think it was just to be controversial because I loves it. It's like it's great, especially now that it's in the correct aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Are you collecting these Region 2, all the great Blu-rays that we've gotten from Hong Kong stuff in the last 6 years?
Yeah.
Like there weren't good editions of some of it for so long. Now we're finally getting the, you know, uncropped HD original soundtrack versions of all these movies on nice from
like 88 film,
Eureka have a lot of those.
Yeah, one of my close buddies, Frank Jang, he does an audio commentary for all those movies. I mean, he's awesome. We call him the commentary beast because he's always like any Blu-ray. Frank Jang is there. But speaking of Project A, I think both movies are getting a 4K release soon, which is insane.
Oh my goodness,
for Project A.
I'll just go ahead and own 6 copies of Project.
Right. But Big Trouble in Little China, I don't know how many times I bought that movie over and over and over again. But yeah, man, look at these guys are awesome. We can talk martial arts and action movies all day. But we unfortunately, this pains Samurai Guy. I have to end it because these guys have an extremely busy day. But hey, seriously. It's nice to have films like this. We need movies like this. And hopefully we get more. You know, I cannot wait now to see your next project. But, you know, I'm sure, you know, it took a lot of hard work. And, you know, we appreciate that. You know, we're rooting for you guys over here, man. You know.
Thanks so much. That's really nice to say. I really appreciate it. And that does totally motivate us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. Anything you guys like to say to your fans and followers before we wrap it up?
Just do one final 5 minutes on Roger Moore.
Respect Roger Moore, goddammit. But yeah, go ahead.
Not being too cool for Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Like Roger Moore.
Yeah.
But also, if you go to hundredsofbeavers.com, you can see where the movie's playing. We're playing, I think in total now we're up to like 80 different cities in the US and Canada. We're adding more cities all the time. So go on our website and check out to see if Beavers is playing in a cinema near you. You can find us on social media on Hundreds of Beavers. And then also, it'll be available early April to rent and stream. And then this summer it'll be available on Blu-ray.
Yes, yes. Digitally first or at the same time? Digital and physical release.
You know what? I actually think you'll be able to, I think in early April, you'll be able to rent it and purchase it digitally.
All right, everybody watching, check out 100 Beavers, baby. Put links in the description box below so you can follow these awesome gents. And if you enjoyed yourself, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Old Samurai Guy. Keep watching action movies, martial arts movies. Support these guys here. That's right. Support comedic slapstick, awesomeness, and badassity. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.